When the Grav-Lords descended upon the lunar colonies and Earth's high-altitude hubs, they didn't use conventional artillery. They used the fundamental force of the universe as a garrote. They deployed Singularity-Anchors, monolithic spires that warped the local gravitational constant. In a heartbeat, a soldier standing on a sidewalk suddenly weighed 5 tons. We watched in horror as entire platoons were literally flattened into the pavement, their armor, bones, and vehicles crushed into 2-inch thick sheets of scrap. The Grav-Lords, slender, multi-jointed beings who floated in personal zero-G bubbles, viewed us as ground crawlers, primitives chained to the dirt by our own mass. They didn't even bother to shoot us. They just turned up the weight of the world until we ceased to be three-dimensional. The fall of the lunar spire was the most brutal lesson. 10,000 colonists were pinned to their floors for 3 days, unable to even lift their heads, while the invaders harvested the city's oxygen. The Grav-Lords thought that by making us heavy, they had made us stationary. They were wrong. They forgot that if you change the rules of gravity, you don't just create a cage, you create a slingshot. We created the 88th Aerial Drifters, the Gravity-Guerrillas. We stopped trying to fight on the ground. To fight a god of gravity, you have to stop caring which way is down. We wear Mass-Inverter suits, heavy reinforced exoskeletons equipped with high-output repulsion boots and magnetic tethers. We don't walk. We launch. We use the Grav-Lords' own anchor fields to accelerate. If they turn the gravity up to 50 gs, we use our boots to invert that force, turning ourselves into 5-ton kinetic projectiles. We are the only soldiers in history who fight by falling at Mach 3. I am Captain Jack's Zero Vance. My internal organs are currently floating in my chest cavity, and I've got a 5-ton alien walker in my sights. The mission was the liberation of the floating district in New Hong Kong. The invaders had set up a crusher array at the top of the Sky Tower, pinning 3 million civilians to their beds. Boots to hot standby. Tethers primed. On my mark, we fall up. I roared into the comms. The liquid dampeners in my suit hissed, preparing to protect my spine from the incoming whiplash. Gorilla 2 Sarah. Ready to fly, Jax. The gravity well is at 20 gs and climbing. It's like standing under a mountain. Gorilla 3 Kale, I'm losing my seal. If I don't launch now, the floor is gonna eat me. Go. 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 I slammed the activation trigger. My repulsion boots didn't just push, they detonated. The Mass-Inverter in my chest flipped my personal gravitational signature. In a world where the Grav-Lords were pushing everything down, I was suddenly being pulled up with 20 times the force of Earth's gravity. I didn't fly, I was launched like a shell from a cannon. The street blurred beneath me. I saw the alien Grav-Scythe walkers, obsidian tripods that looked like twisted tuning forks. They were emitting orange ripples of distortion, crushing the city blocks into dust. I banked my boots, the plasma vents screaming as I performed a high G turn in midair. I wasn't fighting the wind, I was surfing the gravity waves. Targeting the primary scythe. Sarah, take the legs. Kale, hit the sensors. A Grav-Scythe spotted me. It rotated its central gravity cannon, a swirling orb of black light. It fired a compression bolt, a localized sphere of infinite weight. If it hit me, I'd be condensed into the size of a marble. I didn't dodge by moving left or right. I switched my suit to neutral mass for a millisecond. The sudden change in my physics caused me to drift upward at an impossible angle. The compression bolt missed my feet by inches, hitting a skyscraper behind me. The entire top 10 floors of the building simply vanished, crushed into a single point of superdense rubble. 2 slow long legs. I retracted my boots and fired my kinetic maul, a massive hammerhead attached to my forearm, powered by a pressurized gravity core. As I accelerated toward the walker's head, I flipped my mass back to heavy. I hit the walker at 300 miles per hour, but with the weight of 20 tons. Boom. The impact was a physical shockwave that shattered every window in a 3-block radius. The Grav-Scythe's obsidian head didn't just crack, it imploded. The gravity well inside the walker's own engine failed, turning the machine in on itself. It collapsed into a ball of twisted metal and orange sparks. One down. The Sky Tower is targeting the harbor. They're gonna sink the whole fleet. Sarah's voice crackled through the G-force. I looked up. The Sky Tower was glowing with a terrifying violet light. The Grav-Lords were concentrating their power, preparing to drop the gravity in the harbor to 100 gs, enough to snap the hulls of our battleships like dry twigs. All guerrillas. Convergence maneuver. We're going to slingshot the tower. We moved in a synchronized V formation, 6 of us in total. We fired our magnetic tethers into the corners of the neighboring buildings, creating a web of high-tension cables. We weren't just hanging, we were building potential energy. We turned our repulsion boots to maximum power, pushing against the tethers, straining the carbon fiber lines to the breaking point. Hold it, cut the lines. We released the tethers simultaneously. The snapback was so violent it momentarily knocked me unconscious. My suit's autopilot took over for a second as we were catapulted toward the sky tower. We weren't flying anymore. We were 6 human railgun slugs traveling at Mach 4. The Grav-Lords tried to stabilize the field. They projected a repulsion wall to push us back, but we were moving too fast. We had too much mass. We hit the sky tower's central grav generator like a meteor strike. I drove my kinetic maul into the primary singularity core. Eat the overload. I dumped my suit's entire energy reserve into the hammer. The purple kinetic energy met the black light of the alien core. The reaction wasn't an explosion of fire, it was a total gravitational collapse. For a split second, down ceased to exist. The air in the city became weightless. Millions of tons of rubble, cars, and alien scrap suddenly floated into the air. And then the countershock hit. The grav generator shattered. The violet light died. The artificial gravity failed. The 3 million people pinned to the ground suddenly felt the crushing weight lift. They breathed. They stood up. Above them, the sky tower, the symbol of the alien occupation, began to fall apart not because of bombs, but because it could no longer hold itself together in a world of normal gravity. The Grav-Lords, unable to survive in a 1G environment without their precious bubbles, plummeted from their perches, their fragile bodies snapping as they hit the ground they had so arrogantly tried to conquer. I floated in the center of the debris field, my boots hissing as they bled off the plasma heat. My suit was scorched, my ribs were cracked, and my vision was swimming, but the sky was clear. The orange ripples were gone. The weight was gone. Sarah. Kill. Report, I panted, tasting the metallic tang of blood in my mask. I'm floating, Jax. It's beautiful. The fleet is moving in. We held the tower. My boots are fried, but I'm vertical. We did it, Captain. We're light as a feather. I looked out over the ruins of New Hong Kong. The sun was reflecting off the shattered glass of the skyscrapers, and for the first time in months the people were looking up. They weren't looking up in fear, they were looking up in wonder. Humanity has proven the ultimate truth of the Iron Siege. You can control the forces of nature. You can try to crush us under the weight of the stars. You can tell us that we belong in the dirt. But we are the species that learned to fly. We are the ones who turned your cage into our catapult. We are the Gravity-Guerrillas. And we don't care which way is down as long as we're falling toward you. The tower is down. The weight is lifted. The city is ours. The mission is over. Now someone catch me. My thrusters are dead and I'm starting to fall, the old-fashioned way.